Picture this. ATMs in Seattle spewing out cash in perfect sync, like they'd all been hit by the same invisible switch. Within minutes, hundreds of cloned gift cards are swiped across the US. Gas stations, grocery stores, luxury malls. Millions vanish silently into the digital void. And behind it all, a single man sitting in a beach cafe in the Maldives, sipping espresso and typing commands into his laptop. His name, Roman Seleznev, the son of a Russian politician, the mind behind $1 billion gift card scam that paralyzed American retailers. How did one hacker bring global payment systems to their knees? And why did no one stop him? Until it was far too late. It started small. Moscow, early 2000s, dial-up tones, smoke-filled apartments, and the hum of CRT monitors glowing in the dark. Roman was a prodigy, writing code at 13, cracking software by 15. His friends called him Track 2, a nod to the magnetic stripe data he'd soon weaponize. By his 20s, Roman was running scripts that skimmed credit card numbers from poorly secured servers. He didn't just steal data, he industrialized theft. Using SQL injection attacks, he infiltrated point-of-sale systems across the US restaurants, retail chains, coffee shops. The stolen data, names, numbers, CVVs, flowed into secret marketplaces on the dark web. Buyers came from every continent. Roman automated the process. Dump sites, escrow systems, encrypted chat rooms. Each night, new fresh dumps went live, labeled by region and card type. USA Big Store, Visa Gold, Fulza 202. But here's the kicker. Roman didn't sell the data directly. He turned it into something far harder to trace. Gift cards, millions of them, reloaded with stolen numbers, laundered through shell companies, and cashed out in physical stores. Still, no one knew who he was. The FBI had fragments, IP traces bouncing through Tor, usernames that changed daily. One thing stayed constant, the timestamp on every upload. 2:14 a.m. Moscow time. Why that exact hour? No one realized. It matched the closing time of US cash-out crews. Then the scale changed. Between 2009 and 2013, Roman's empire exploded. He hacked into payment processors directly, siphoning live transaction data in real time. It wasn't just retail anymore. It was infrastructure. Bank networks, loyalty card systems, even airport Wi-Fi routers became entry points. Investigators estimate his operations touched over 3,700 businesses and 170,000 victims. Losses exceeded $169 million, but insiders claim the true figure was closer to $1 billion. Imagine you're a restaurant owner in Portland. One day, your terminals freeze. Then the bank calls, thousands of fraudulent charges traced to your system. You didn't even know you'd been hacked. Roman had inserted a few lines of code that captured every swipe before it ever reached the bank. And he didn't just sell to small-time crooks. His customers were global syndicates, cartels, money launderers, even rogue state operatives. His servers operated like a dark Amazon. Products shipped instantly, payment in Bitcoin. But you haven't heard the worst part. Roman bragged about his success. On hacker forums, he posted photos of himself on yachts, flashing stacks of cash. He bought luxury cars, vacationed in Bali, even posted selfies under the handle NCUX, the same alias connected to the carding dumps. The FBI watched. They mapped his accounts, tracked blockchain wallets, built a psychological profile. They knew he was bold, but they also knew he was careful, never traveling to countries with US extradition treaties. Until one summer in 2014, when Roman booked a trip to the Maldives, a paradise with palm trees, coral reefs, and a secret US agreement. July 5th, 2014. Malay International Airport. Roman steps off a flight from Moscow. He's carrying a ThinkPad, 2 iPhones, and a single encrypted USB stick. He doesn't notice the men at the gate, plain-clothed, calm, waiting. When he hands over his passport, they move. Quick, silent. In seconds, he's in handcuffs, devices seized. His laptop screen still glows, a line of code mid-execution. Bingo. The arrest sparks an international firestorm. Russia calls it a kidnapping. The US calls it justice. Roman is flown to Guam, then Seattle, to face 29 counts of cybercrime, wire fraud, identity theft, and possession of stolen access devices. But here's the twist. When agents unlock his laptop, they find an active admin session. Thousands of stolen card numbers still streaming in. Even in custody, his systems were running autonomously. He'd built self-sustaining botnets to continue harvesting data. Picture that. A man locked in a cell while his empire keeps growing. During trial, prosecutors called him one of the most prolific financial hackers in history. They displayed chat logs where he boasted of making millions a week. His code snippets read like poetry to those who understood. Clean, efficient, ruthless. The jury deliberated for just 4 hours. Verdict: guilty. Sentence: 27 years in federal prison, one of the longest ever given for hacking. But even then, something didn't add up, because the network didn't die. After Roman's arrest, gift card fraud surged. New usernames appeared on forums using his same syntax, same structure, even same 2:14 a.m. timestamps. It was as if his ghost lived on through the code. Some agents believe his lieutenant simply took over, using his playbooks. Others whisper a darker theory that Seleznev had pre-programmed his system to regenerate, to rebuild, adapt, and keep earning. In 2020, federal analysts discovered a cluster of servers in Eastern Europe pushing out familiar data dumps. Us, store, live, post 2020. Same patterns, same fingerprints. Roman, from his cell, denied involvement, but he also smiled during interviews. "You can't arrest the internet," he said. And maybe he was right.